For more than 70 years, the Chevrolet Corvette has been offering incredible levels of performance and practicality for less than $100,000. The used market is currently on fire for the Corvettes, and I'm here with the used 2022 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 3LT. Are you better off getting a used Corvette over a new one? And is it better than the BMW M4 competition, Ford Mustang Dark Horse, Audi RS5 competition, and Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat? Let's go ahead and find out. Let's begin with the pricing and the trim level. The 2022 Corvette came in one version known as the Stingray. There were three different trim levels, the 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT, 3LT being the most luxurious. The 1LT started at $69,000, an incredible price for all of the features that you get in the Corvettes. The 3LT, which we have today, started at $81,000 when it was brand new, and after a few thousand miles, it is down to $71,000. Let's see if that is still a great price and a great deal for this car. The Corvette's bold design is sure to turn heads. You get functional vents at the bottom and a front splitter, and one nice detail is that the end of the front is actually jagged. This is something that they didn't have to do, but they did anyway. These headlights are very fitting for the Corvette. They're going to be fully LED, so you get an LED daytime running light that has kind of a sharp design, an LED projector style headlamp, and an LED turn signal. As far as the wheels are concerned, you get many different options on the Corvettes. These particular ones wouldn't be my personal pick because they are in gloss black, but every Corvette has a staggered setup, 19s in the front, 20s in the back to maximize performance. You can also choose what color brake calipers you get. Moving to the side profile, you're going to find this intake trim in body color on today's model, and you'll find this gloss black trim around the wheels. There is a rocker panel down here that sticks out quite a bit, and the mirrors are going to be fully loaded with heating, blind spot monitoring, auto dimming, and power folding. To open the door, you're going to reach around for the pad, press it in, and then that will open up the door. Moving on to the back, you'll find a functional vent underneath the taillights and at the bottom of the car, and the Stingray model gets quad exhaust. There's a small spoiler on this model, but I feel like a large spoiler fits this car better. The taillights are going to be fully LED, so you get LED taillight accenting, an LED brake light, an LED reverse light, and an LED sequential turn signal. I feel like the front of the Corvette looks way better than the back, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now let's take a look at the interior and see how functional and practical the Corvette is. You'll be looking at the exterior a lot because the Corvette is a very stylish vehicle, but the interior is also very important because this is where you'll spend a lot of your time. Starting with the door panel, you'll see that with the 3LT model, you'll get a completely leather covered door panel. There's leather from top to bottom, and you get a real metal speaker grille, 2-person memory seats, some real aluminum here surrounding your switchgear, and some red stitching. This button right here is so that you can open your door, and you have controls for your front and your trunk, and the door packet is kind of narrow, but it is felt lined. There is a Stingray door sill right here, and your seats are standard GT2 bucket seats on the 3LT model. You have red contrast stitching, carbon fiber, a Corvette logo in the headrest, and these are 12-way power adjusting. It is so good to finally be on the inside of the Chevrolet Corvettes. There is a lot to talk about here, so let's get right into it. The steering wheel is going to be nicely leather wrapped, and you have red contrast stitching all over the place and a red marker at the top. The Corvette logo will be in the center, and this is the only Chevrolet product to have a leather covered airbag cover. This steering wheel is heated and power adjusting, And one other nice touch is that you get real metal paddles. The gauge cluster is completely digital, and I think it looks really nice in this. There are some nice touches like a performance timer to time your 0 to 60, and I really like the red accents on the sides, the top, and the bottom. All of the customization can be controlled with the right side of the steering wheel. Materials in the Corvette are going to be right out of a Cadillac. There's real leather on the dash with red contrast stitching, leather red for the center console, flat black on all of your buttons, and you'll have real aluminum right through here. Storage is not bad for a sports car. Under here are 2 cup holders, and they fit some pretty good sized drinks. There's a door pocket down here, and it can fit a few things, but not a lot. And when you open up the center console, there's going to be a nice felt-lined area with 2 USB ports. Right behind you is a wireless phone charger. All of your climate controls will be located in this row right here. And you're going to have to find out once you get this car which is for the driver's side and which is for the passenger side. The Corvette has dual zone, and every model will have heated and ventilated seats. If you don't want to go through all the hassle of looking through this big row to find all of your climate controls, you can use the infotainment system, which could be easier for some individuals. The Corvette is still using GM's old infotainment system. You still get some nice things like built-in navigation, a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, a 14-speaker Bose sound system, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. I'm telling you guys, this Bose sound system is really incredible. There is nothing wrong with this infotainment system, and I would be completely happy with this, so no rush GM to change this to the latest software. There are some more things to talk about in the center area. Look at the middle button right here. This is to raise up the front of the car up to 2 inches. This will happen in a matter of 3 seconds because a lot of supercar or sports car owners have trouble going to certain places because they don't want to scrape the front end of their car. Thankfully with the Corvettes, you can have the car memorize a bunch of places that you go to, actually up to 1,000. So each time you go to a place that has a driveway that you're worried about, the car will automatically lift up for you so that you will have no issues at all. Gear selector is also in this area. For neutral and park, you're just going to push in. But for drive and reverse, you're going to need to pull up. When you go in reverse, you'll find a very high resolution backup camera. There are 4 different views here. A normal back view, a wide back view, a front down view, and a multi-angle front view so that you don't scrape any curbs. This is such a clever camera angle, and I think every supercar or sports car should have this. I think this is the best for reverse, and as you can see, when I start backing up, it will alert me. Not all sports cars or supercars do that, so I am thankful that they do this in the Corvette. Taking a look up top here, you'll find a digital rear view mirror. Also, the hazard lights are up here, and the dome lights are on either side of the rear view mirror. Interestingly enough, this is not a convertible, but you can still take off the roof in the coupe version. Let me show you how to do that. You're going to need to put down the visor on both sides. You'll find these latches right here. You're just going to unlatch each one. Not that hard, and for the back one, you're going to push in on this part. Now let's see what kind of features are on the other side of the Corvette. The door panel is going to be the same as the driver's side, so it's basically going to be wrapped in leather from top to bottom. There's a real metal speaker grille, some aluminum trim, 2-person memory seats, and storage at the bottom. There are Stingray branded door sills, and you'll find the same GT2 bucket seats on the passenger side. They have red contrast stitching, a carbon fiber insert, heating, ventilation, and 12-way power adjusting. Inside the Corvette, you'll find this button to open up the glove box, which is surprisingly large. It also has a felt lining. Now let's talk about the cargo area and see what kind of practicality the Corvette has to offer. To open up the trunk, there is going to be a button on the key fob, or you can reach under the letters ET in Corvette. When you do open up the trunk, you'll find 12.6 cubic feet of space. Obviously, they did have to separate it a lot from the engine, so that is going to impede on the space a little bit. But this is very impressive for a mid-engine sports car. Now, obviously, this is going to be different on the convertible model, but this is a very good amount of space for being a mid-engine sports car. The trunk is designed to store the roof in here, and to close it up, you aren't going to need to slam it because you just bring it really close and the car will soft close it for you. We are not quite done with the cargo area just yet. Because the Corvette is a mid-engine sports car, you're still going to have a frunk. If you look underneath the left headlight, you're going to find a little pad that you can press, and that will open the frunk right up. There is so much space inside the frunk of the Corvette, and you can even get an optional cargo net, all-weather floor liner, and an organizer. This is also one of the clear advantages that the Corvette Z06 has over other supercars. It has a lot more space, and it's way more practical. But now it is time to talk about one of the most important things about the new Corvette, the powertrain. The Corvette uses a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 for 490 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. All of that is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and the fuel economy is pretty good at 16 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 19 combined. The back glass of the Corvette will show the engine, and there is also a little coupe appearance package that has lights that will light up the engine of the Corvette. Also, you can get an optional silver engine cover, or what we have today, an optional red one. One downside is that when it rains, a lot of water is going to get in there, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Now let's move on to the competition, because this is going to be a very interesting topic about the Corvettes. It kind of depends on which Corvette model you buy, whether it's the new Z06, ZR1, E-Ray, but obviously those didn't exist in 2022. So, a few cars that could compete with the Corvette Stingray would be the BMW M4 Competition, the Mercedes-AMG CLE 53, the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, and the Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Also, some people could be comparing it to the Audi RS5 Coupe. Now, for the Z06 and the ZR1, they're going to get into the supercars, especially the ZR1. The C8 Corvette measures in at 182 inches long and 76 inches wide. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2022 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. The Corvette continues to be an amazing sports car, and I think many people are going to be very happy with their purchase, whether used or new. You really can't go wrong with any Corvette model. It's just what suits you the most. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.